Where are we gonna land? Emperor's Fall or Emperor's Ascent again? Volfred or Gilman? We're gonna get Gilman some favor. I've made up my mind. You make landing upon Mount Loriel, where Volfred pulls you aside while the others complete the post-flight inspection. He puffs at his pipe before speaking up. Reader, as you know, I now wear the raiments once again. That means that I, myself, may soon be worthy to regain my freedom in the eyes of the 8 scribes. Know, however, that it is not my wish to go just yet. It is true I could be of some benefit to our plan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on a surer footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I wanted you to know. I shall, of course, defer to you. Our path is not to contradict the reader's will. Anyway, I trust that all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom. If not soon, then by when all of this is over. Alright, seek the Nomad Scribe's favor. Having completed the post-flight inspection, you and Sir Gilman visit the monument of Golgolothanian here in Emperor's Fall. It seems that this knight's test of honor is just beginning to begin. He is to understand the stars themselves are vanishing? Impossible, he says, for how can there be such a thing as honor in this world if the stars themselves are wont to leave this world behind? Soon he is finished paying his respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Golgolothanian has shown you favor. You soon shall ascend to the mountain, though there is time now to pursue your vocations. Sir Gillen gain plus hope. Alright. Oh, someone wants to talk. Sir Gilman is training intently when you approach. Master Reader, this knight was so engulfed in memories of the Sea Dominion that he failed to detect your stealthy advance on his position. Splendidly done. This knight would have been vanquished by you easily. This knight is fortunate to have you as an ally rather than a mortal foe. His kind routinely clambers from the depths of the Sea Dominion to seek greater glory, and perhaps a slightly longer life expectancy within your Commonwealth. Such an honor it would be to be assigned the rank of knight, to be conscripted onto the front lines of the Commonwealth against their vicious winged enemies. In the Sea Dominion, it was our ultimate goal to fight our way to the surface, past our brethren, past the razor reefs, the strangle kelp, the snaggle fins that prey upon our kind. Sir Gilman continues listing undersea dangers and terrors for some time. Past the blood sniffers, the electric scallops, the rogue worms of the frigid current, the paralyzing nets of the far fishers, and even past the scalding waters of the glowing trench. Finally, he trails off. Yet, even despite the myriad challenges of living in the Sea Dominion, it is each would-be Worm Knight's duty to abandon that place at his or her soonest convenience. How humorous it was to learn that life within your Commonwealth had quite a bit in common with our existence under sea. It was not all pomp and glory as the stories told. Perhaps it is our lot, as Worm Knights, to bring strife with us wherever we should go. For even here, it seems, is our kind pitted both against our brethren and all others. He remained silent for a while, but then... Ah, well, it is fortunate that this knight found within this place so fine a company as yours. It is a most different change of pace to strive toward a common purpose, rather than strive constantly to outperform each other toward one's own self-gain. Although, to the extent we are competing still, this knight shall ever strive to take the lead. Make no mistake about that, Master Reader. This knight was born to be the best, just like all the billions like him. Now he is off to steal himself. Your pardon, Master Reader. He scoots off somewhere to continue with his self-made training regimen. Oh, and he gained quickness too. Wow. Alright, let's read something. Downside diseases. Oh my god, there's so much to read. Ailments in the downside often give no warning when they strike. Those who keep moving and make no attempt to settle, they reduce their risks. The afflictions come in multiple varieties. In the bogs of flagging hands, a pallor tends to sink into the skin and then into the mind. The nauseating sea of solace north of there is difficult for some to tolerate, like headwind. Very hot or very cold environs bring their own specific side effects. My coat is not as lustrous now. My fangs are long. Like all aspects of the downside, all these ailments share a purpose, to test your body, mind, and spirit. They only appear to harm. Accept them, surpass them, move on. Alright. Let's read about... I don't really care so much about the Rites of Flame and on the Commonwealth, but I want to learn about the Triumvirates. The Pyre hearts all follow in the path forged by the Underking Orez, whose many mighty deeds exceed the smallest stature that somehow contained him. His is the most spirited triumvirate, their courage unfaltering, don't know about that, their hearts full. They live always with vigor, and perhaps they die with it as well. They are the Underking's own kind, as at home above the sea as in it, never ceasing, never longing as they do for something more. The Underking chose wisely for these qualities, and teaches that a life devoid of passion is a life devoid of life itself. That burning passion is the fuel that drives the Pyre hearts, and in turn, us all. Cool. Study in private. Can I increase glory now? Please, 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 please. Yay. Oh, only +1 glory? Alright. But we'll study the fundamental purpose of the book. What have you come to understand of the book? Can you recite its pages yet by heart? Have you internalized its teachings? In its lack of limits, you experience yours. Yep, righteousness. We all have +1 glory. Not as big a boost as I would have hoped, but okay. Temple Cistern or Temple High Road? I'll probably use Pamitha. I'll start focusing on Ruki and Tay a little bit more as we go forward, I think. But for now, I'm using Pamitha. En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Underking Orez, and Pamitha happens to take notice. I have to hand it to you, Pamitha. You have a real gift for getting yourself into one bad situation after another. Now here you are, praying to the dead to bring the stars back, is that it? Maybe you'll get out of here this time. Things might even be worse back home. Soon she is finished paying her respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Underking Orez has shown her favor. She gained +3 glory. Ooh, that's good. Alright. You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of Scribe's Gate, before an archway carved of stone where stands the Gate Guardian. Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of the rites begins drawing to a close. The Nightwings accept this as the will of the scribes. The Gate Guardian laughs at this, softly for some reason. And you, Tariq? Do you accept their will as well? She's starting to show more emotion. She's been very aloof when we've seen her in the past. But the lone minstrel does not answer her. It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you, come forth and state what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, the Nightwings declare themselves. You all pass through as before. When Volfred takes his turn, Celeste stops him. You, I see you wear the raiments once again. Explain. The cycle of the rites is ending. Well, I do not know exactly why. I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirate to be the true Nightwings. I remember well the contemporary whom you mean. Then the Nightwings stand divided. Yes. And so, I wear the raiments once again, in case that it may help to right this wrong. For I am Volfred Sandalwood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side, and bring our freedom to the people there. She considers Volfred's words for a moment. I see. Then, move along. The guardian of the scribe's gate regards you all, and then she beckons you onward. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Celeste? What is it, Tariq? The will of the scribes. Long have we both followed it, I think you would agree. In equal measure has it drawn us close, as separated us. But, if their aim now is to keep us apart, for another age or longer, then no. I do not accept their will. You blaspheme, Tariq, and at the gate no less. But the lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then, may the scribes themselves admonish me. Until tomorrow night, Celeste. Alright. Having reached the peak of Mount Elodiel again, you see the vastness of the downside all around you. It leaves you deep in thought regarding which of your companions ought to go free this night, as Jodariel did last time. Right, who wants to talk? Volfred wants to talk. Volfred looks up as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my girl, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rights once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beasts than the triumvirate which took me in almost a decade ago. Ours was a triumvirate of exactly 3. Well, 4, with Tiso, who proved to be an exception. Though historically, the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor Brighton, and my former companions, Arissa and Orlek. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there is more you wish to learn of them. Of course. Thus far you have only heard passing reference to Brighton, Volfred's predecessor in the Nightwings. You inquire about Brighton, who you understand was liberated prior to when Volfred first joined the Nightwings. I know I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now. Though for that matter, my girl. So do you. Who? Is he the voice? He might be the voice. He knows Volfred personally. He might be the voice. He studies your reaction for a moment then. Brighton was born wealthy, but not special otherwise. You would have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why, and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Arissa and Orlek, who found in me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Orlek gave the impression they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I would soon hear from him myself. Indeed, as I became accustomed to the book which you know well by now, I soon began to hear the voice. Volfred looks at you, as if to see if you yet take his meaning. You see, my girl, after Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth, and a new responsibility to the triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you hear from time to time, whensoever the stars align, it's his. I didn't think we were gonna get a revelation like this. Oh my god. I thought the voice was just that, some unattached narrator, you know? I guess that wouldn't be in keeping with Supergiant's tradition. You know, in Bastion, Rux was a whole character who had a hand in the plot. In Transistor, you know, the man in the Transistor, he was everywhere. He was the story. And I don't know, maybe in Hades it doesn't really make sense because that narrator has such a small role, but Zagreus more or less narrates the entire combat situation there, so I think he's more the narrator than the Logan Cunningham quote-unquote narrator is in that game. So yeah, narrators are characters in these games, and I was silly to assume it would be otherwise in this game. Wow. He is no longer Brighton. He is now none other than the Archjustice Androboles IX himself. The Grand Judge and figurehead under whose watch the Commonwealth is governed in this day. He is in charge of the Commonwealth. Oh my god. Liberated exiles retain certain burdens to their own triumvirates. They have much to thank them for. Not just their freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiment simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. Their public pasts are nothing but a fabrication. Like Brighton, they once were exiles too. Brighton, that voice, he has no love for either one of us by now. He knows full well what we attempt to do, because we're gonna try and take away his power. I see. Yet, he is bound by the traditions of the rites. He shall always stand on ceremony and complain, but I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exile such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen in you the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's a path you'd wanted to pursue, I should apologize. Now then, whom else should we talk about? Orisa? She betrayed Oralek, causing the Nightwings to fall apart. Why we should do such a thing. I'm gonna drink some tea, because this is an awful lot of talking. Orisa betrayed Oralek at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shimmer Pool. I'm afraid you know the brunt of it, my girl. But I suppose you ought to know something of Orisa's past, lest you be quick to judge her solely by her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made, but her life, I understand, was very difficult. Orisa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. You could see it plainly branded on her face. Such was the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. Was it murder? Because she seems like she's pretty darn good at murder. I guess except for the fact that Oralek didn't actually die, but she seems predisposed to it, at the very least. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth, taking up the post left by her brother. He had fallen in battle on the Blood Border, despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered after this, and had grown cruel and detached. It was Orisa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. One day, it was all too much for her, so when next he lashed out at her, she struck back. She struck back again, and again, and again. When they came for her, her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime, where her hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Orisa was always intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the High-Wing remnants a great siege engine that would shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud. What she ultimately did to Oralek, it was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think that it was simply evil, nor do I think that it was personal. I often wondered, though, if, in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool, she understood what she had done and the depths to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit, I hated her, but now, my only hope is that she found a peace untenable during her relatively short life in the downside and the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Orisa offers some perspective yet to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, was there something else? The most important one. The demon whom he met, what was he like before? Were he and Volfred close? Volfred remained silent for some time. I was very, very sick, you know, when I first landed at the downside. The long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. It was Orlech who found me. He could not have known of my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician, intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Orlech, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he said he grew repulsed by what he saw. This sowed in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed, so he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the Highwing remnants. It must have gone about how you'd expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him to the downside. Here he gained the notice of the Nightwings, and before long, he grew to be one of the finest rites conductors anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the Triumvirate were later filled by Orissa and me. In time, Orlech's own opportunity for freedom had come up. He longed for it so that with his exalted status he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point. Volfred breathed a heavy sigh. He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I could not bear to think that he was gone, and now, I still cannot entirely believe that he is back. He is our adversary now, transformed, grown cold. Still, part of me is happy that he lives. Make no mistake, of course. I shall not be swayed against our plan, not by Orlech or anyone. As I have said before, we share a higher calling now. As for Orlech, he wants his freedom still, although I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, was there something else, my girl? That's it. He bid Volfred a good afternoon and leave him with his memories. My pleasure, reader. Reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet how much farther we have yet to go. That was quite enlightening, Volfred. Thank you for that. Hey guys, so like, I don't know what's going on up there with all them stars all acting real weird and stuff, but let me tell you something here. You ain't gonna find a better deal on all this stuff from anybody. I mean, anybody in the downside. You can trust me when I tell you that, okay? Okay, so go ahead, stock up. More stardust, more fortified sun serum. Permanently grants +1 hope. Dang. You know what, Ron? I think I'm gonna sell some of these that I don't really use anymore. I mean, some of these are good. I never use the Titan Tooth. I'm selling this. I'm gonna keep Calmer's Anklet around for a while. This one I don't really care about. And I know I won't get any of these back, but it's fine. The rest of them I'm okay keeping around, and I want to buy some Stardust. And I'm gonna put that on the Curvang. Who do I have that on? On Gilman. And that'll make it level 20. Yeah. Yep. And oh, I had another scoop of Stardust. Did I buy 2? I don't remember buying 2, but okay. And let's put this on the Ashen Coal. Yeah. I have my favorite talismans now. There's no getting around it. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Are we ever gonna find out why Falcon Ron and his dad are down here? Are they like indigenous to the downside like the imps are? Because they're not like a race. The slugs are not a race that we've heard anything about. They're just kind of there, looking very different from everyone else. So I don't really understand what the slugs are. Alright, liberation rite time. Once more you have gained the Fall of Solium, or one of you among you may go free. But first, You shall have to prevail against the dissidents in the liberation rite.
Liberatus.
Reader, your companions are gathered there under the fall. They shall be counting on you.
Barusha.
Indeed. As the cycle of the rites turns ever faster, so too is our plan set in motion. My agents in the Commonwealth are beginning to cause a bit of a stir out there, and word has reached high places that the rites are ending. This is our chance, though let us not despair should victory elude us here. We shall make the most of whatever the scribes may have in store for us. That is to say, good luck, my girl. It's time. There's yet another one. Your adversary's pyre shall recover up to 5 health each time they douse your pyre. Yeah. I just wanted to see what it was. Still not doing any of these. Alright. Come on, voice. I know who you are right now. I've already forgotten what your name is, but I know I don't like you.
Once more, the Nightwings gain the summit of the sacred Mount Aladiel to conduct the liberation rite, even as the stars themselves abandon you. Make good upon these final opportunities, reader. This glorious age-old tradition coming to an end upon your watch. I trust the dissidents, your adversaries, shall not throw away this chance. Choose now who may go free, should they unfortunately fail.
The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the dissidents, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Barker bursts out from some hidden corner, laughing as he paws at his mask. A real pleasure to be here, mates, truly. Barker Ashpaws, call me Barker though, right? By the by, it was a real pisser getting here, you know? You know, you're a real pisser too, you know? Mr. Public Urination. Begging your pardon, Barker Ashpaws. You thusly speak upon the summit of the sacred mountain. I love how Celeste always gives them shit. She always gives the other side, like, so much crap about how they behave themselves. Oh my, so terribly sorry to offend you there, lassie. I forgot we got the stars above up there to make me watch my language. So, let's get one thing straight, lassie. I don't give a bother for your sacred mountain, so you take it and you shove it. Me and my pack, we're just here for the laughs, you got that? The other side ain't any better than this one. We ain't interested in your freedom. But, just the same, we're gonna get it. Take it from those wee little babes that are so antsy for it. Hear that, you Nightwings? You better put up a good fight here or I ain't gonna be happy, understand? Then he shoves his mask back on. Right, come on then, let's hurry up and get this damn thing started. Nightwings, your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct the liberation rite? Reader, I would ask you to choose wisely, but I am sure you know no other way. And you, prepare your song to reek. Of course, Celeste.
Whom do you intend
All right.
to liberate?
Yep, our options are Hedwyn, Gilman, and Pamitha. And we're gonna use Gilman with the Kerfang.
Sir Gilman.
Has this knight at last regained his honor? Let us now find out.
Who shall stand with him?
Alright, yep. And we're gonna do the same setup we've had all these times. Pamitha with the Righteous Flame. Alright, I'll see what I can do for him, reader darling. And Hedwyn with the Ashen Cold.
Hedwyn.
Sure thing, my friend. Now let's get Sir Gilman home.
It is done.
Alright then, mates. No more waiting, no more holding back, and let's rip into shreds. Let's go, let's go, let's go! nice. About time we got this blasted business underway, eh, Greentail? Rookie looks on in silence, but says nothing in response. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We've done it before. We can do it again. We can do it again. It seems Rookie feels uncharacteristically confident in the outcome of this liberation rite. You never were no fun at all, Greentail. You know that, eh? You never were cut out to run with us. So if I end up getting out tonight, don't you go thinking you can have my spot, you get me? My pack would sooner chew you up. Wow. So not only are, I heard in the song, not only are they mentioning curs, but this version has like, what would you call it? Its instrumentation sounds like the Dissident's theme music. Wow. Now you just think on that, as we go and wipe the floor with you. Damn it. No! Gilman, that's so good. That power of yours is so good. Alright, they got us. They got us one hit. God, the Dissonants are so aggressive in terms of banishing. Headwind, come on. Yes. What in the... Alright, mate. Something gone funny with that orb, as I can tell. Better laugh it up while we still can, eh? Indeed. Something strange seems to have happened to the celestial orb. It shudders now as though possessed of the same chaotic power as your adversaries. What's wrong with the orb?
Foolish Barker was a menace to the Commonwealth, and is a blight upon the rights. Too slow there, Panafa. Pathetic.
Oh, that ability is so good.
Alas for Gilman.
Woo! The orb is like bouncing around. Is that what's going on with it?
You have it.
Where's the ball? Where's the orb?
Now go. How fortuitous.
Gilman, come on.
Audacious, aren't we?
Oh,
Oh.
Oh my god. This is chaotic. It really is.
Glorious.
Come on, Gilman, come on! Oh, thank goodness. Oh! I thought that round was never going to end. Oh my god. Alright. Ametha, we only need one more. Gilman, yes!
At last, the Night Wings proved their worth. Their adversaries
Nice.
they defeated utterly.
And Gilman got the final extinguishing.
Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus
Look at
the
his little tail
scribes
wiggle.
have chosen the exile appointed by the Night Wings shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. His adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
What a joke. Here I was thinking we were gonna make him cry after all this. Come on, mates. I've had it up with this stuck-up place. So let's get out of here already, eh? Aww. Sir Gilman stares at nothing in particular. You sense that he is still taking in what has transpired, and what it means for him. So then, this night, he is to be free? He is to be free? Nay, but that would mean... Why, that would mean his honor is restored. One cannot go back into our Commonwealth by any other means. This night's exile was self-wrought, his disgrace profound. That he has been atoned, under the eye of the Underking, and those of all his noble comrades. He begins to grow very emotional, and then... This knight loves you all. We love you too, Sir Gilman. I'm so happy that you get to go free. He loves you all, that you would strive for him, and let him join your noble quest. This knight does not feel as though he is deserving of this outcome yet. The result appears inarguable. Even now, this knight is drawn into the Shimmer Pool. Our time grows brief. Therefore, know this, beloved friends. This knight shall ever strive on your behalf there in the Commonwealth. Though his honor may have been restored, his true journey only now begins. And so, good friends of the Night Wings, this knight must now bid you farewell. However, the bonds we form together shan't be broken by mere distance, nay. Strive on, good friends. Strive on. You can still hear Sir Gilman as he vanishes into the Shimmer Pool. If this lowly knight could have achieved such glory, surely can you all. For now, farewell. Farewell. Alright.
Godspeed, Sir Gilman. The 8 scribes are watching from afar. By their grace, may the cycle of the rites keep turning for as long as possible.
Alright. Edwin didn't quite totally rank up. Neither did Pamitha, but that's fine. Alright.
Until the turning of the stars, farewell.
How much more frequent can the opportunities get? You prevailed in the liberation against the dissidents. Already does the Black Wagon feel quieter than usual without Sir Gilman, who returns to the Commonwealth. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this. He's gone, just as I was getting to like him. We won't forget him and all his did for us, or all he did for us, probably. You wonder who, if anyone, among you shall be the next to go. We have but a few such liberation rites remaining. Exactly how many, I do not wish to speculate about as yet, until such time as we can better say for certain. Under no circumstances would I suggest this is ideal. However, it is opportunity enough that our plan may as yet succeed. Although, all of these setbacks, I fear. Volfred trails off and falls silent. Some of the others exchange looks. They are beginning to understand. With the rite soon ending, everything which Volfred has sought, both on his own for many years, and now with all of you, all of it may have been in vain. The hush spreads to the others. But not to you. You then proceed to do something that none of them seem to expect. You raise your voice. I just had a voice line. A throat clear. Did you hear that? Each of your fellow exiles turns to you, their expressions asking you a question with no easy answer. What are we going to do? As you meet Bertrude's gaze, the words for the occasion begin to crystallize in your mind. You are searching to find the right words, as all your fellow exiles are looking to you now. Interact to gather your thoughts. Interact to consider a different angle on this. Okay? You tell them that you have all stood together time after time throughout this quest, and are now poised to seize upon a glorious opportunity. And think only a hollow fool will turn back now. You tell them that you are not going to mince words with anyone here, because by now each of you knows each other well. Grave disservice to the group. All of you have struggled to come this far across the downside through many challenges which you faced, only to reach this low point in your journey. You have all struggled to come this far across the downside through many challenges which you have faced. It is clear now that not all of you are going to return. Surely this has weighed heavily on everyone. Your path to freedom is laid bare upon you. It is clear now not all of you are going to return. Surely this has weighed heavily on everyone. But something far more vital is at stake. You see the imminent conclusion of the race as a sign. The scribes are watching. The disappearance of the star above can be no accident. The stars are shining for you. This would... The Commonwealth is already in upheaval. Its troubles are always beginning. The injustices committed on the other side cannot continue. Now is the time to stand up and fight the forces that oppose you. For those who live oppressed. For your people. For those who live oppressed. You have the opportunity to live with purpose. I think for each other is good. You stand poised to ensure the leave behind for your loved ones, for each other, is a world worthy of homecoming. If you can believe any of this, then believe above all in each other. Believe that the plan may yet be achieved. Trust that you may prevail together. Trust what your heart is telling you. Believe above all in each other. If you can believe any of this, if you cannot see merit in this quest, No, I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to call them unworthy. When you look at it that way, believe that the plan may be achieved. To believe above all in each other. If you can believe any of this, then believe above all in each other. Trust that you may yet prevail together. After a brief period of reflection, you share one last sentiment with the group. Let us bring about the harmony envisioned by the 8 scribes. Then you join the others in silence. Thus do you remain together with your thoughts. No one speaks for a time, but then... Damn right, my friend. We've stood together time after time, and I'll be right there with you till the end, no matter where we end up. You see them too, then, miss. The scribes among the stars, how they are watching over us. You truly believe that your commonwealth can change its ways, then, reader darling? I suppose that I may yet come to believe it too. Thou wouldst dare to change this ancient world, reading one, and yet thy words are tinged with certain truths. May long the stars remain a light for you, reader madam. All the while, Volfred remains watching you intently. Then his expression softens, and he smiles. You are right, of course, my girl. We are the Nightwings. It is precisely as you said. Let us bring about the harmony envisioned by the 8 scribes. Lead us, then, reader, to the end of our quest, and the dawn of a new age for all our kin. Everyone, for the Nightwings. Everyone responds, in kind. They stand with you, no matter what. They await the outcome of your vision of the stars, which burn with renewed fury, because now the last rites beckon. We all gain one hope permanently. Let us bring about harmony. The stars above now burn with what appears a desperate fury, many more of them than usual. Oh god, this feels like Endgame. I don't want it to be Endgame. I wanna liberate everybody. I want it all to be good. Look upon them all. Are they all gonna be shining? I think they all are. Or at least most of them. Yeah. A lot of them. The stars of the 8 scribes. They shine together now, as one. The lone minstrel draws breath, as though surprised by what he sees. He backs away and averts his eyes. This is another sign the rites are soon to cease. Few chances yet remain to confront the adversaries you have met during your journey. Oh god. Oh god. I'm so scared. Oh, I'm so scared of everything. Ugh. Who are we gonna fight? The Tempers, the Fate, the Withdrawn, the Pyre Hearts, the Chastity. Probably not Chastity. How about the Accusers? I feel like they're the only ones left, besides the Essence, of course, who left the rites before we could get their backstory. Lendl and the Accusers are the only one we haven't gotten backstory on yet, so let's fight them. Your next adversaries are to be the Accusers, led by one called Lendl, whom I believe you first met many moons ago. His is a tale I hope shall be forgotten. He then tells you what he knows of your next adversary. Lendl the Liar, the first adversary you confronted in the rites, not long after you took your first steps on the path to freedom. A former constable of the Commonwealth, he gained a reputation for his strict and brutal manner. By any means, he always caught the crook. Once, he arrested a civilian who hated him. on suspicion of theft of Commonwealth artifacts that had gone missing. Lendl discovered the artifacts himself in the civilian's home. The suspect soon was exiled. Still, he denied the charges, even as they cast him downriver. The case was investigated further, though too late. Suspicions turned to Lendl. It turned out he planted the damning evidence himself. So, he was exiled in turn. In the downside, he soon became acquainted with the rights, having heard all of this from several people in high places. He asserted himself as the de facto leader of the accusers. They bent to his aggressive nature and prevailed many times under his watch. Yet, each time his chance at liberty arose, the Nightwings either defeated him or simply did not show. At any rate, Lendl shall be looking forward to our arrival, I expect. We may resume our journey come daybreak, but in the meantime, I would advise taking what rest you can. Alright. Oh boy. I think now's the time to end it. Because that first write was so short, I decided to keep going, and it turned out to be an extremely long episode as a result. I'll probably cut it, despite what I said earlier. I'll cut it in two. But, oh god, that rousing speech, that signals endgame to me pretty hard. That felt climactic in a way that I don't like. I'm gonna be so sad to say goodbye to this game. I mean, at the same time, I am excited to leap into like fandom content, fan fiction, fan art, and whatnot without fear of spoilers. But that is literally the only upside to ending this game. I'm really enjoying it so much, and I don't want it to end. But we must take steps forward on that journey. But until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Pyre.